flowers in it. And what we need to make sure that we do when we start off with an arrangement like this is to make sure that you have a really nice sturdy basket. This particular arrangement is going to sit in a wicker basket. The most important thing when you do an arrangement like this is to make sure you have a nice solid liner and make sure that it fits the basket appropriately to make sure that the water doesn't leak out. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to arrange the small 4-inch green plants that we have for the basket. And these can go in any order. It's always nice to make sure that the green plants are making sure that they're facing out because plants tend to have a back side and a front side. So we're going to arrange these nicely. The other thing you need to make sure when you have green plants and you're making a garden like this is to make sure that the leaves aren't damaged in any way with water spots. If they are, what you can do is use what we call leaf shine. And all you do is spray this directly onto the plants, and it gives them a really nice shine. You just do a very light coat, and it gives them a really nice shine, and make sure that they don't look dull. Once you get the green plants arranged the way that you want them, and you can make sure that you double check it, turn it around a couple of times to make sure that you see the front of the arrangement and the back. This looks like it's going to be the front for us here. This particular basket is actually going to have fresh flowers in it as well. To make sure that the fresh flowers stay for as long as possible, you want to cut yourself a piece of oasis block that's been soaked thoroughly. And what you do is you cut it in half and secure it into the arrangement in between the 4-inch containers. And all of this, the mechanical things are going to be hidden with moss, so you won't have to worry about seeing them. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you cover the oasis with some different types of greenery. In this case, I've chosen fern and also pittosporum. So all you do is cover the oasis completely, and just make sure that you cover it enough so that the actual greenery looks like it's part of the arrangement. Once you've got the basket all greened up and you have the plants the way that you want them, what we're going to do is add actually some fresh flowers to it. In this case, what I've chosen is some eucalyptus, and the eucalyptus is in different types of sizes, and all we're going to do is put the eucalyptus into the oasis. Now for a basket like this, you don't need water tubes like you normally would if you had a pre-made dish garden. The reason you don't need that is because you have the oasis there. And what I'm doing here is just stripping the bottom of the eucalyptus to make sure that I have a nice clean cut here for it so it goes into the oasis nicely. The other flowers that I've chosen are lilies. And make sure that you cut them enough so that they go into the arrangement nicely, but they're not too large sticking out. Make sure you also push them into the oasis because if they're not in far enough, they won't drink enough water. One thing you want to make sure with lilies is to make sure that you take out the pollen, and this is called stamens. And all you do is take the knife and cut them right off. And the reason you do that is because these actually stain pretty badly if you get them on your clothing or your hands. So again, make sure that you have a nice fresh cut. We've also chosen a rose to go in here, and the rose can go a little bit higher. And again, make sure that everything is in that oasis nice and deep because otherwise they won't drink enough. The last thing that we're going to put in for today is just a filler flower, and this is called goldenrod. These are really nice. And the filler flower just adds as an accent. It's not necessarily part of the arrangement, but it's a nice accent piece. Once you've got all your flowers arranged, you need to make sure that you hide the mechanics of the pots themselves. So what we have today is Spanish moss. And all you do is just break it apart so it's loose. And make sure that you place it nicely on top of the area where the plants are so that you don't see any of the dirt or the actual plastic pots that they're sitting in. And you just rip it all apart, place it on top, go around the entire basket. Make sure sure that you cover everything so that you're not seeing any of the mechanics, because that's not attractive to see. It also looks really pretty once you have all the Spanish moss in. And if you have to go deep a little bit into the basket, like here, to make sure that you cover all of those plastic areas, that way you don't see anything. There. Once you've got everything done, and you've determined that this is the front of your basket, take a nice bow that you've made, place the bow by the flowers itself because it adds as a really nice accent piece. Make sure that you fluff the bow up, and you're done. That's your dish garden with fresh flowers. Thanks for watching.